Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is a new Movie Nerds Club. And this month we're discussing our top 5 favorite films set in the UK. So, as part of our Movie Nerds Club, each and every month, myself as well as several of my fellow film YouTubers get together to create a top 5 list based on a new topic each and every month. And in celebration of St. Patrick's Day, this month we decided to go with films set in the UK. So, of course, make sure that you hit that subscribe button while you're here, but then head on over to Rachel's Reviews, Ren Geekness, Mainly Movies, Zach Pope, and Ryan Cam's channels to check out their top 5 lists, and make sure you hit that subscribe button when you visit. Now, as for my list this month, it was incredibly hard. The list is so vast, and it was so hard to really think of and find films off the top of my head that were set in the UK. So please understand this is by no means a set list. I know I forgot probably 500,000 films that I absolutely adore. So please forgive me. But here is the list I came up with. So of course I have to have a couple of honorable mentions. And I'm going to start with Song of the Sea and A Secret Hills. Two beautiful films from Cartoon Saloon, part of their Celtic trilogy, if you will. Both films feature beautiful animation and incorporate Irish and Celtic folklore into their stories in a really heartfelt and sincere way. And then on the other end of the spectrum, I wanted to give a shout out to Hellraiser. A film I didn't really think of until I started poking and prodding, but a horror classic that still freaks me out just thinking of Pinhead. Now, let's get into the top 5. So coming in at number 5, I have the classic A Clockwork Orange. Obviously a very well-made film, but one that I am hard-pressed to call my favorite because I never need to watch the film again, honestly. But so many of the themes are very impactful. Obviously, the ideas of the future, not quite right, but were fun to explore. And it features some of the most iconically haunting imagery in cinema. It's a classic and a film I highly respect. That's why I needed to include it on my list, but it doesn't work its way up further just because I am never in the mood to just pop it on. Coming in at number 4, I have Trainspotting. Now, I loved the sequel as well, but Trainspotting is definitively the best of the duo, and honestly, a cult classic for a reason. Following this crazy group of people, Ewan McGregor at his finest in his young indie career, it truly takes you on a consequence-filled joyride that I never get tired of experiencing. I love these characters, the acting is great, the soundtrack is out of this world. That's why I had to include Trainspotting. Coming in at number 3, I have Skyfall. It's my favorite James Bond film. Now, if I'm being completely honest, I'm not really that big a fan of the franchise. I know. But the recent iteration with Daniel Craig certainly had me more hooked into the franchise than I had ever been previously. And Skyfall brought together everything I love in a blockbuster, and honestly brought together all of the best aspects of a great Bond film for me. But what I really love is that it turned so many of the tropes on their head, giving us Judi Dench as the Bond girl, letting our villain actually succeed in their mission, and giving us a much more introspective exploration of James Bond and aging and failing. And it just really made for an interesting piece that honestly had me looking at the entire franchise in a way I have never done before. Not to mention, the theme song is amazing, the score itself is also fantastic, and it's the most beautiful of all of the Bond films when it comes to cinematography. I'd probably get shipped off if I did a top UK films list and didn't include a Bond film, but Skyfall genuinely is one of my favorite films set in the region. So in my runner-up position, At number 2, I have Wolfwalkers. Yes, the reason I didn't include the other 2 films on my actual list is so that I could have a little bit of parody, and I selected Wolfwalkers as the official Cartoon Saloon film to make the countdown. Now, while this story is not as daring as The Secret of Kells or Song of the Sea or Breadwinner, which is not set in the UK, I think it accomplishes literally everything it sets out to perfectly. It is a perfectly executed, crafted film. Of course, the animation is jaw dropping. It is stunning to look at in this fluid motion. This is easily the best animated film from the studio that produces artwork. The story is so fantastic. It's so relatable with really deep messages that don't bash you over the head, but interpret themselves in organic and heartfelt ways. The characters are endearing, and of course, that score brings the Celtic heritage to life in a way that feels authentic and genuine rather than showy and gimmicky. And coming in at number 1, I kind of cheated. I have the Paddington films. Yes, I had to include both Paddington and Paddington 2 because I think they're equally great. And if you put them together as a packaged set, they are the best thing to come out of the UK for me. And honestly, what ended up solidifying this decision is that I just can't think of a more British film than Paddington. A film that better encapsulates what you want out of a film set in the UK. One, he's an icon, particularly when it comes to the region. Paddington is a cultural icon, and he's brought to life in such beautiful sincerity. The CGI on Paddington is lovely, but it is certainly the atmosphere, the script, the direction, the authenticity that these films are brought to life with. Paddington is such a delight and so refreshing in this day and age, in this world that we live in. All of the human actors are fantastic. The hijinks are adorable. And Paddington himself brought to life beautifully by Ben Whishaw. He's not only delightful, he's perfect. So, those are my top 5 favorite films set in the UK. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, go ahead, click like down below and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on my latest videos. And of course, make sure to head on over to Rachel's Reviews, Ren Geekness, Zach Pope, Mainly Movies, and Ryan Cam's channels. Check out their top 5 lists and drop a subscribe when you visit. Also, make sure to leave your list. What are your favorite films set in the UK? Leave those lists in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!